Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Rochelle, bienvenue sur ma chaîne. Today I will be talking about the pros and cons of Pimsleur. So first of all, this is not a sponsored video. I just happen to really like using the program and I wanted to share with you all a little bit of information about the program. Now I'm currently on level 6, lesson 2, and I do have notes, so if you see me looking down, I am looking at my notes. So Pimsleur consists of 30-minute audio lessons from native speakers, and the lessons really focus on pronunciation. So the instructor breaks down words and phrases. For example, they'll say the English first and then they'll say the French word, and then they'll give you like a pause or a break to say it again. For example, the word for today is aujourd'hui, but they'll break it down aujourd'hui. And it does sound like a little funny, but it really helps with pronunciation when you know the individual syllables of the word. Also, let's take another phrase for example. The phrase, I still have a lot of work to do, which is, j'ai encore beaucoup de travail. Then the instructor will break it down. J'ai encore beaucoup de travail. And so after that, there is a pause and a break for you to say that sentence or that phrase again, which is extremely helpful. Now, just for a little background information on the Pimsleur program, it was created by Dr. Paul Pimsleur in the 1960s, and he used kind of a spaced repetition program. He didn't necessarily create the spaced repetition approach, but he used it. He was really before his time. And so instead of just introducing you to new words or phrases once or twice and that's it, his method has you working with those same words and phrases multiple times over several weeks and several months. For example, in lesson 1 or level 1, lesson 2, you may learn the question, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Which means, what are you doing? Well, you will hear that same phrase again in level 2, lesson 3. So you'll hear it in lesson 1 and then you'll hear it again, or you'll hear it in level 1 and then you'll hear it again in level 2. So you don't forget that word and that phrase. It's almost like you learn that word in level 1, and then just as your brain is about to forget how to say the word, level 2 comes and says that same word or that same phrase again, and it jogs your memory. And so that is extremely helpful. Now, French Pimsleur, which is what I'm using, has 5 levels and it has 30 lessons each. And each lesson starts with a conversation between 2 people. And most of the time you will not understand what these 2 people are saying. But that's okay, because throughout the lesson they will break down those words and those meanings. And by the time you finish that 30-minute lesson, you will know the words and phrases of that conversation and you'll be able to understand that conversation. And it is recommended that you take one 30-minute lesson per day. So I forgot to mention that j'apprends le français. I am learning French. I am not fluent in French in any sort of way. I'm learning right along with the rest of you, and Pimsleur has really helped me to learn French. I've really learned a lot so far and I have a long way to go. And also there is a mobile app with Pimsleur, and I will show you all those apps. So we have it here on tablet form. Hope that you all can see that. So that's how it looks on my tablet. And then they also have it on mobile. And the cool thing about mobile is if you're listening to this while you're driving or while you're out and about, you can click on the driving feature. So you just click on that and see how it turns. Everything gets bigger. So it's easier to use when you're driving. So that's really cool. You can also use your computer to do your Pimsleur lessons, which I will demonstrate later on in this video. So let's talk price. How much does Pimsleur cost and what comes along with it? Pimsleur offers courses in 50 languages, and that's not even including English as a second language. There are 14 additional English as second language courses, which is really, really cool. Now I'm going to insert a clip here where I am going to discuss the prices of Pimsleur, the different formats that it comes in, and also the languages that is included in the Pimsleur program.
We are now on the Pimsleur website, and as you can see, they have a 7-day free trial, and if you want to do the monthly subscription, it's $19.95 per month. I do encourage you to start with the 7-day free trial. And here you see all that comes with that monthly subscription. And let's take a look at other French products. So we have the MP3s. And of course you see here, oops, got a pop-up. Of course you see here, French Level 1 30 lessons is $119.95. And if you want levels 1 through 5 on MP3, which includes all 150 lessons, it's $550. These are the CDs. Level 1 30 lessons, $345. And levels 1 through 5, all 150 lessons is $1,190. They also have a more affordable way with their introductory format, and these are all CDs, and there's about 8 to 16 lessons. It's kind of a good way to introduce yourself. You can also buy 5 lessons at a time. So you see here, level 1 lessons 1 through 5 is $21.95, and also as you can see here, you can buy 5 lessons at a time, and they're all $21.95. And you can also buy 30 lessons at a time, and these are in a digital format, and you can see here the various prices. So there it is. Those are all of the prices for Pimsleur. And you may be curious of some of the languages that are offered. There are 50 languages, not including ESL. So here are the languages that are included in Pimsleur. And here are the languages in ESL that are offered.
Now, let's discuss the cons of using Pimsleur French. I only have one con, and that is it's boring. Oh my gosh, it's so boring. After about 15 minutes, I tend to lose focus. So I recommend if you are sitting down while doing Pimsleur, do something else. Exercise, do housework, listen to it on your commute. Personally, when I'm listening to my Pimsleur lesson, I like to take down notes of useful words and phrases that I would like to use in the future or use when in conversation with someone, when I'm speaking French with someone. Just little notes that I would like to store in the brain. So that's what I do to help me to get through those 30-minute Pimsleur lessons. Now, I am going to demonstrate a Pimsleur French lesson, so stay tuned.
This is the Pimsleur lesson. So here we are on level 1, and as you can see, I have completed 30 out of 30 lessons, and you also see that you get a completed check mark once you have finished those lessons. So you can just scroll down and you can go back to these at any time. And then when you get to the end, it gives you a congratulations, you have finished level 1, and you can move on to the next level. And also you can jump in between levels, and as you see, level 1 through 5 with French, and then it also shows you the other languages that are offered. So we'll go back to level 2. am currently on level 6, as you can see. And there's 30 lessons in this level. So let's go back up to lesson 6. And I'm going to play a little bit of this for you. Now when you're doing these lessons, it allows you to, it has like these spots where it pauses so you can repeat what the native speaker said. But so you all can hear it well, I'm not going to repeat the words and phrases back. I'm just going to let you listen to it. So let's click in it and see how it goes.
This is lesson 6 of Pimsleur's French 2.
Écoutez cette conversation. Emma, tu as le temps de prendre un café?
Je sais pas, où est-ce que tu veux aller?
Tu connais le café l'Estelle?
Non, je ne le connais pas, c'est où?
Avenue Montaigne. Ce n'est pas trop loin.
D'accord, mais je n'ai pas beaucoup de temps. Malheureusement, j'ai encore beaucoup de travail.
Pas de problème, moi aussi.
You just heard
Pas de problème.
no problem.
Écoutez encore une fois. Emma, tu as le temps de prendre un café?
Je ne sais pas, où est-ce que tu veux aller?
Tu connais le café l'Estelle?
Non, je ne le connais pas, c'est où?
Avenue Montaigne. Ce n'est pas trop loin.
D'accord, mais je n'ai pas beaucoup de temps. Malheureusement, j'ai encore beaucoup de travail.
Pas de problème, moi aussi.
Vous êtes un Américain en France. Vous parlez à une amie. Demandez-lui si elle a encore beaucoup de travail.
Est-ce que tu as encore beaucoup de travail? Tu as encore beaucoup de travail?
Do you have the time to have a coffee?
Est-ce que tu as le temps de prendre un café? Tu as le temps de prendre un café?
Or a glass of wine?
Ou un verre de vin?
Votre ami répond to have a glass or to have a drink?
Prendre un verre? Prendre un verre?
All right, I'd be glad to.
D'accord, je veux bien.
So in just a minute and 55 seconds, we have already learned quite a bit. We learned how to say est-ce que tu as encore beaucoup de travail, which means do you still have a lot of work? And we also learned how to say est-ce que tu as le prendre un café? Do you have the time to have a coffee? And these lessons are 30 minutes long. And as you can see here, you have the ability to go back 10 seconds or forward 10 seconds. You can pause. There's also a reading practice alphabet feature. And so it's really, really great to practice your French or any language that you're using with Pimsleur. And you can go at your own pace because you can stop and start. You can minimize the player. So it's a wonderful feature to have. And then you can also go in and change your settings. And
I highly recommend using Pimsleur to learn French. I don't know about other languages, but with my experience in French, so far it's been wonderful. And yes, it's not the most exciting program in the world, but it is very useful and very practical for your language learning journey. For those who are currently using Pimsleur to learn a language, regardless of the language, what are your pros and cons? Merci d'avoir regardé mon vidéo. S'il vous plaît, aimez et vous abonnez. À la prochaine!